A 10 resistor, a 90 mH coil, and a 0.015 F capacitor are in series across an AC source. The impedance magnitude at 200 Hz below FR is A 1616, B 161, C 387, D 1771. The correct answer is 1616. In a series RLC circuit that is operating above the resonant frequency, the current A lags the applied voltage, B leads the applied voltage, C is in phase with the applied voltage, D is 0. The correct answer is lags the applied voltage. A 15 resistor, a 220 H coil, and a 60 pF capacitor are in series across an AC source. What is the bandwidth of the circuit? A 138 MHz, B 10866 Hz, C 1907 Hz, D 138 kHz. The correct answer is 10866 Hz. A resistor of 3K, a 0.05 F capacitor, and a 120 mH coil are in series across a 5 kHz 20 V AC source. What is the impedance expressed in polar form? A 636, B 3769, C 433, D 4337. The correct answer is 4337. A 12 resistor, a 40 floor capacitor, and an 8 mH coil are in series across an AC source. The resonant frequency is A 28.1 Hz, B 281 Hz, C 810 Hz, D 10 kHz. The correct answer is 281 Hz. The impedance at the resonant frequency of a series RLC circuit with L20 mHc 0.02 F and RW90 is A0, B90, C20K, D40K. The correct answer is 90. A 6.8K resistor, a 7 mH coil, and a 0.02 F capacitor are in parallel across a 17 kHz AC source. The coil's internal resistance Rw is 30. The equivalent parallel resistance Rb is A 1878, B 18780, C 18750. D 626. The correct answer is 18780. Referring to problem 20, what is the total parallel resistance ptot? A 4.99, B 499, C 4992, D 6800. The correct answer is 4992. A 200 resistor, a coil with 30 of reactance, and a capacitor of unknown reactance are in series across an AC source. The circuit is at resonance. Circuit impedance A is 230, B is 170, C is 200, D cannot be determined. The correct answer is 200. Referring to problem 8, the total current is A 1.5 A, B 573 mA, C 5.73 A, D 1.19 A. The correct answer is 5.73 A. If the resistance in parallel with a parallel resonant circuit is reduced, the bandwidth A disappears, B becomes sharper, C increases, D decreases. The correct answer is decreases. A 90 resistor, a coil with 30 of reactance, and a capacitor with 50 of reactance are in series across a 12 V AC source. The current through the resistor is A 9 mA, B 90 mA, C 13 mA, D 130 mA. The correct answer is 130 mA. A resonant circuit has a lower critical frequency of 7 kHz and an upper critical frequency of 13 kHz. The bandwidth of the circuit is A 7 kHz, B 13 kHz, C 20 kHz, D 6 kHz. The correct answer is 6 kHz. If the value of C in a series RLC circuit is decreased, the resonant frequency A is not affected, B increases, C is reduced to 0, D decreases. The correct answer is increases. A 24 resistor, an inductor with a reactance of 120 and a capacitor with a reactance of 120 are in series across a 60 V source. The circuit is at resonance. The voltage across the inductor is A 60 V, B 660 V, C 30 V, D 300 V. The correct answer is 300 V. To tune a parallel resonant circuit to a higher frequency, the capacitance should be A increased, B decreased, C left alone, D replaced with inductance. The correct answer is decreased. In a certain series resonant circuit, VC 125 V, VL 125 V and VR 40 V. The value of the source voltage is A 125 V, B 250 V, C 290 V, D 40 V. The correct answer is 40 V. A certain series resonant circuit has a bandwidth of 2 kHz. If the existing coil is replaced with one having a higher value of Q, the bandwidth will A increase, B remain the same, C decrease, D be less selective. The correct answer is decrease. A 9 mAh coil is in parallel with a 0.015 F capacitor across an 18 kHz AC source. The coil's internal resistance Rw is 60. The circuit impedance is A 17340, B 1734, C 290, D 1018. The correct answer is 17340. A 15 resistor, an inductor with 8 inductive reactance and a capacitor with 12 capacitive reactance are in parallel across an AC voltage source. The circuit impedance is A 12.7, B 127, C 436, D 174. The correct answer is 12.7. A certain series RLC circuit with a 200 Hz 15 V AC source has the following values: R12C80 floor and L10 mAh. The total impedance expressed in polar form is A 12.28 12.34, B 12.57 12.34, C 9.95 12.34, D 12.62 12.34. The correct answer is 12.28 12.34. What is the applied voltage for a series RLC circuit when IT 3 mA, VL 30 V, VC 18 V and R 1000 ohms? A 3.00 V, B 12.37 V, C 34.98 V, D 48.00 V. The correct answer is 12.37 V. What is the bandwidth of the circuit? A 31.8 Hz, B 32.3 Hz, C 142 Hz, D 7.2 kHz. The correct answer is 31.8 Hz. In a parallel RLC circuit, which value may always be used as a vector reference? A. Current. B. Reactance. C. Resistance. D. Voltage. The correct answer is voltage. How much current will flow in a 100 Hz series RLC circuit if Vs 20 Vrt 66 ohms and Xt 47 ohms? A. 1.05 A. B. 303 mA. C. 247 mA. D. 107 mA. The correct answer is 247 mA. What is the Q quality factor of a series circuit that resonates at 6 kHz, has equal reactance of 4 kilo-ohms each and a resistor value of 50 ohms? A. 0.001. B. 50. C. 80. D. 4.0. The correct answer is 80. What is the range between F1 and F2 of an RLC circuit that resonates at 150 kHz and has a Q of 30? A. 100.0 kHz to 155.0 kHz. B. 147.5 kHz to 152.5 kHz. C. 4500 kHz to 295.5 kHz. D. 149,970 Hz to 150,030 Hz. The correct answer is 147.5 kHz to 152.5 kHz. What is the quality factor? A. 999. B. 223. C. 2.2. D. 0.99. The correct answer is 2.2. What effect will a parallel tank have upon final filter current? A. Very little. B. The bandpass frequencies will change. C. The frequency cutoff will change. D. The impedance will block output. The correct answer is very little. What is the total current? A. 56.6 mA. B. 141 mA. C. 191 mA. D. 244 mA. The correct answer is 141 mA. When a parallel circuit resonates, it is said to A. Flywheel. B. Oscillate. C. Both of the above. D. None of the above. The correct answer is both of the above. Series RLC voltage or impedance totals must be calculated by A. Subtracting the values. B. Graphing the angles. C. Adding vectors. D. Multiplying the values. The correct answer is adding vectors. What is the total current? A. 15.6 mA. B. 17.8 mA. C. 21.9 mA. D. 26.0 mA. The correct answer is 15.6 mA. When XCXL the circuit A. draws maximum current. B. Applied voltage is 0. C. is at resonance. D. draws minimum current. The correct answer is at resonance. How much current will flow in a series RLC circuit when Vt 100 VXL 160 XC 80 and R 60? A. 1A. B. 1 mA. C. 6.28 A. D. 10 A. The correct answer is 1A. When a full band of frequencies is allowed to pass through a filter circuit to the output, the resonant circuit is called A. Low-pass filter. B. High-pass filter. C. Band-stop filter. D. Band-pass filter. The correct answer is band-pass filter. At resonance, the term bandwidth includes all frequencies that allow what percentage of maximum current to flow? A. 50. B. 62.3. C. 70.7. D. 95.3. The correct answer is 70.7. What is the true power consumed in a 30V series RLC circuit if Z 20 ohms and R 10 ohms? A 15.0 watts. B 22.5 watts. C 30.0 watts. D 45.0 watts. The correct answer is 22.5 watts. What is the current phase angle for a parallel RLC circuit when IL 15.3A, IC 0.43A and IR 3.5A? A 76.7 degrees. B 4.25 degrees. C 88.8 degrees. D 76.7 degrees. The correct answer is 76.7 degrees. At any resonant frequency, what voltage is measured across the two series reactive components? A. Applied. B. Reactive. C. 0. D. Inductive and capacitive. The correct answer is 0. What is the resonance frequency? A. 31.8 Hz. B. 71 Hz. C. 7.1 kHz. D. 31.8 kHz. The correct answer is 71 Hz. What is the range between F1 and F2 of an RLC circuit that resonates at 150 kHz and has a Q of 30? A. 100.0 kHz to 155.0 kHz. B. 147.5 kHz to 152.5 kHz. C. 4500 kHz to 295.5 kHz. D. 149,970 Hz to 150,030 Hz. The correct answer is 147.5 kHz to 152.5 kHz. At any resonant frequency, what net voltage is measured across the two series reactive components? A. Applied voltage. B. Reactive voltage. C. Zero voltage. D. VLVC voltage. The correct answer is 0 voltage. If the bandwidth of a filter increases, A. Q decreases. B. The roll-off rate increases. C. The half-power frequency decreases. D. The center frequency decreases. The correct answer is Q decreases. Series RLC impedance or voltage totals must always be calculated by A. Adding values vectorially. B. Graphing the angles. C. Multiplying the values. D. Subtracting the values. The correct answer is adding values vectorially. What is the total impedance of a 60 Hz series RLC circuit when XL 7.5 ohms, XC 265.3 ohms and R 33 ohms? A. 257.8 ohms. B. 259.9 ohms. C. 290.8 ohms. D. 1989.75 ohms. The correct answer is 259.9 ohms. What is the high cutoff frequency for an RLC circuit that resonates at 2000 Hz and has a bandwidth of 250 Hz? A. 2125 Hz. B. 2250 Hz. C. 1750 Hz. D. 8.0 Hz. The correct answer is 2125 Hz. Current in a series RLC circuit may always be used as A. A leading vector. B. A reference. C. An angle. D. A lagging vector. The correct answer is a reference. What is the impedance of the circuit? A. 12.2 K. B. 14.5 K. C. 17.8 K. D. 20.3 K. The correct answer is 20.3 K. What is the approximate phase angle in a series RLC circuit when VC 117 V, VR 14.5 V and VL 3.3 V? A 45.0 degrees. B 82.7 degrees. C 90.0 degrees. D 172.7 degrees. The correct answer is 82.7 degrees. Which statement best describes reactance in a series RLC circuit? A. Capacitive reactance is always dominant. B. Inductive reactance is always dominant. C. Resistance is always dominant. D. The larger of the two reactances is dominant. The correct answer is the larger of the two reactances is dominant. What is the band pass floor 1 floor 2 of an RLC filter that resonates at 150 kHz and has a coil Q of 30? A 100.0 kHz to 155.0 kHz. B 147.5 kHz to 152.5 kHz. C 295.5 kHz to 4500 kHz. D 149,970 Hz to 150030 Hz. The correct answer is 147.5 kHz to 152.5 kHz. What is the power factor? A 0.279. B 0.479, C 0.679, D 0.879. The correct answer is 0.879. What is the phase angle? A 61.4, B 28.5, C 28.5, D 61.4. The correct answer is 28.5. What would be the power factor for an RLC circuit that acts inductively? A 90 degrees leading. B 1. C 0. D 90 degrees lagging. The correct answer is 0. Voltage lags current in an RLC circuit when it acts A. Capacitively. B. Resistively. C. Inductively. D. Resonantly. The correct answer is capacitively. What is the voltage across R1 C1 and L1? A. VR 156 V VC 165 V VL 441 V. B. VR 178 V VC 187 V VL 503 V. C. VR 219 V VC 232 V VL 619 V. D. VR 260 V VC 276 V VL 735 V. The correct answer is VR 156 V VC 165 V VL 441 V.